Are you giving your power away? Are you aware that you are giving your power away? Because sometimes it's not so obvious. Yes, we understand that giving our power away usually pertains in this instance to allowing people to manipulate us into believing that they have more power or more control. And therefore, we give our power away in that sense. But there's also a more subtle way that power can be leaked from us, and it has to do with the world of spirituality. When you come upon this journey or this path, you're like a sponge. Everything is available for you to absorb. And there's no need for you to have to choose one thing or another. You can choose many things to put your little fingers into to discover, because ultimately, what we really are here to do is to understand the world better, why we're here, and what our purpose is. And sometimes that means we are searching and experiencing whatever it is that comes to us as part of the discovery of who it is that we are. But we ultimately all want to reach the same conclusion, and that is that the true sense of power we possess is from within. And so while it is okay and almost inevitably a necessary part of the journey to enable certain things, whether that be healing modalities, whether that be psychic mediums, tarot cards, whatever it is that you are using, could even include courses that you're taking to yourself become a healer. All of those things are a necessary part of this journey. There is nothing wrong with any of those things. But at some point, we have to be able to recognize that even if we're learning something through a modality or a teacher, that at some point we need to separate ourselves from whatever it is that we're being taught and learn to stand on our own, gathering the power that we have learned that we possess from within and using it to help us navigate life along with the compass that is God consciousness. Where a lot of people get stuck is thinking that the next thing is going to show them, or the next thing is going to show them, or even being stuck using and doing something, giving our power away to allowing someone else to do something for us, to tell us what it is that we need to be on the lookout for, whatever that may be. If that is an avenue that you feel yourself you know, going towards, when you could be really centering yourself and learning how to do it from within. Again, nothing wrong with that in the beginning, but at some point you need to be able to learn how to walk on your own within this life without having to use those outside sources to ultimately help you with what can only be shown from within. It is much like riding a bike. We all started off with training wheels. We needed the training wheels because we didn't know at the time how to balance the bike. But it would have looked very silly for us to be riding that bike with training wheels 2 years after we started the training wheels. At some point, we have to recognize that yes, we may fall. Yes, we may get a cut or a bruise or perhaps even something worse than that. But that is a part of the experience. It's a part of the information that we gain through the experience. We can't expect to evolve and grow if at some point we don't understand that it's necessary for us to navigate life on our own. And what's most important right now is to understand, how do we navigate life? How do we get to that point of recognizing I need to release and let go, holding the hand of this person or this modality to help me navigate life? How can I tap into this ultimate power that I know I possess within myself? It comes through the act of presence and stillness, especially stillness. And in fact, stillness really cannot be cultivated unless there's presence that's brought into it. Something about presence that we need to be reminded of, and Eckhart Tolle has said this on okay, numerous occasions. I have also reiterated it on numerous occasions. And that is that it is not about the present, the content of the present moment that is most important, but rather what holds the content. Now, that may be very puzzling to some people, but I want you to think about it this way. Look around the room that you're currently in right now and notice the things within that room. Perhaps the table and chairs. Take note of the table and chairs. They're solid matter. Notice the pictures on the wall, the overall decorum. What holds that space together? Is it the four walls that make it possible for you to be able to take note of that physical matter? No, it's not. It's what it is that you don't see that supports all of the things that you do see. If we're only looking for physical evidence in order to help us understand what cannot be understood with the conceptual mind, then we miss the opportunity to feel in to what ultimately most people may think is not real, but is the most real thing that we can encounter in this life. And it cannot be seen. So when you are being present, what you're really being present with is all of the space in between the things that it is that you see. That is God. That is what we are ultimately looking to connect to within this life. That is what is helping us use this inner compass to navigate life in a way that we've never been told how to do. And it is where we ultimately all want to be within our life. Now, why do we ultimately all want to reach that destination? Because we've been given the power to co-create with this creator of life to help us live the best lives that we possibly can. And when we give our power away for a short time to other people, that's fine. We're learning with the training wheels. But at some point, we need to recognize that those training wheels are no longer necessary. And any great teacher in any form of spirituality will also help you to recognize that at some point you need to release the teacher in order to stand on your own 2 feet and navigate life on your own. That you can't always be connected to a teacher to help you make decisions and choices, to tell you what's maybe the right way to go and what may pose a problem, without recognizing that you possess that power. And that's where the stillness comes in. If you are already a present person within your life and you understand what that presence truly means, then stillness is cultivated through that presence. What that means is that you now have stilled the mind of thinking that it needs to make all these decisions, and you recognize that whatever decisions are needed to be made are coming from within, that it doesn't have anything to do anymore with the conceptual thinking mind of what it is that you may have learned or what you may personally think is the right way to do things, but rather it is allowing the signs that may come in the form of certain things transpiring out of you, outside of you, that may help you recognize you're being told what and where to go on this path. Perhaps it's just something that comes up from within you spontaneously, a thought, some type of intuitive sense that tells you exactly what it is that you need to know at the time that you need it. All of these things are made possible by 2 things: presence and stillness. But it also requires that we release and let go from giving our power to other people to help us make those decisions, and choosing them now to make them ourselves. Much love and light.